All right, this is a secondary air valve off a Mercedes-Benz C300. It has a 3-liter V6 in it. It would be the M272 engine, I believe, is what the deal is. Okay, so what ended up happening is both these valves on the right bank and the left bank would only pull a partial vacuum, and they'd go up to, like, I forget, I think somewhere around like 10, between 5 and 10 inches of mercury, and then they'd like wag out. So I couldn't figure out if there was some sort of goofy check valve in here, or if that was by design, that they were supposed to bleed off a certain amount, or whatever the deal was. Of course, on YouTube, go on and on and on, couldn't find anything concrete about exactly how these things are supposed to function. So I took a chance, ordered 2 brand new OEM Mercedes valves, very expensive for what they are. And first thing I did when I took them out of the box is hooked up a vacuum pump test deal, and sure enough, they pumped right up to, you know, whatever manifold vacuum it would be. Like, I think they said don't exceed 15 inches of mercury or something like that, or 20 or whatever. So I think I pumped them up to 15. They held steady. I realized that these two were both defective, and they were both had the same, the right and left both did the same deal. So anyway, cut this thing apart, and here's what I ended up finding inside. I ground this stem off here and got this washer off, and this piece here. And of course, this diaphragm looks brand new, lasts another million years. Not one problem with it. And I thought, you know, really? Like, what in the hell? So anyway, ended up taking this part apart here. This valve. Oh, come on now. Anyway, this valve had some sort of washer, sealing washer around it that was all like accordion shaped and kinked up, and I don't think it was fared as well, near as well as, like, for example, this part. And then you have this piece here, which is like a one-way reed valve, which was in good shape. I ended up breaking the screws off because I didn't realize that they were peened over here. So if you ever do go to disassemble this piece just comes out of there, which I didn't really realize that until I broke these screws off. Anyway, you have to grind the tips of these screws off of here if you want to be able to unscrew them, otherwise you'll break them off. And then here's this limiting piece. And this is a port size, it's pretty big. So anyway, let me show you the part that leaked. The vacuum comes underneath this diaphragm. You get a punch here. I need to just push this down. Here's this retainer. So here's like a steel insert that they put in. And here's the piece that comes out, which is like an actual valve. Almost looks like a valve. Anyway, right down there is one of the smallest lip seals I've ever seen. I don't know if I can focus this damn thing. Right there. Just this really miniature lip seal. And that seal is right on the outer diameter of this valve stem. And that, if you put it in there, you could tell it's just barely on there. I mean, this thing has a bit of play to it, which is probably like from brand new, because I'm not seeing there any wear on this valve stem. And this steel piece, I mean, it's not like a, you know, it's reciprocating in there a million times like a valve train. So if you put this in up here, It's very low, moderate clearance between the stem and the bushing there, or guide. But anyway, you can feel the slightest resistance from that lip of that seal. That's where the leak came in. If you look at this port is underneath this diaphragm like this. Okay, so this is sealing correctly, and it's not leaking here. The only other place it can really leak is at that lip seal, and that's exactly, I believe, where it was leaking. So anyway, if you pull a vacuum on them and hold the vacuum and they leak, they're not right. They need to be replaced. Okay, that's the end of my story. 10-4 out.